Diary of a Rotter by BatKing4342. It's been 5 years, 3 months, and 14 days since the world went to shit. I've spent all that time gathering resources, losing and finding family, and making tough choices to survive. This is just one of the journals containing the history of our group, including every person who's died. Had such a good streak, only a bit on the fucking ankle while on patrol. I'd gotten so used to the smell of the rotters, I couldn't smell its stinking flesh. To whoever reads this journal in the future, rotters are what we call zombies, by the way. I'm sure every group has their own name. When everything first fell apart, we called them what they were. Zombies. The more we lost to these fuckers, the more zombies just felt too cartoonish. Unfortunately, we couldn't call them any sort of swear word, because we used to have a lot of kids in our group, my daughter among them. So we just started calling them rotters. The hate in our voice made it just as effective. Sorry, I'm off track. Back to patrol. The rotter had lost its legs by something near the Russian River. The wriggling idiot was camouflaged by dead leaves and rocks, its screeching covered by a waterfall. The first hour after infection. Acute pain. In other words, that bite hurt like a bitch. It grabbed onto my ankle and took a bite out of me before I could stomp on its head like a ripe watermelon. Decay made bones brittle, and mine would be there soon. I'd saved others in my group from my fate, but it is too late for me. There's no cure for a bite. The second they get their teeth into you, start saying your eulogy. Second hour after infection. Fear. How exactly would one describe the feeling of knowing you were a dead man walking? I've put down enough people in the group. I know that my best hope is a bullet to the brain to save my soul. As the group's historian, I know just how deeply I'm screwed. I don't know who'll take over my job when I die. Maybe Mary? Her specialty so far is fixing up our clothes along with our other common duties. It would bring her more work, but I trust her with it more than I trust Damien or Jason. Neither of them appreciate the importance of history. One day, they're going to get out of this. Zombies still can't swim. Rotters aren't getting past DSA, and certainly don't have tickets for international flights. Certain countries were actually successful in lockdown and containment. Someone out there will find a cure. We're going to need primary sources in this dark age of information. People will need to know the truth. Third hour after infection, the headache. It's been about 3 hours since I've gotten bit, and my head's starting to hurt. But I need to write for as long as I'm able to. I need to make my way back to camp, tell them what happened. Ask them to tie me to a tree with my journal so I can write out these symptoms as long as I can. The head's a dull throbbing on the back of my head. I'm still stalling. I don't want anyone to worry. I don't want this to be my fate. But I'm stuck with it. I wonder who'll put me down. I wonder when they'll do it. Sometimes we wait, and sometimes we put them down the second we see the bite. With the old folks, they'd normally request termination ASAP. That is, if they don't do it themselves. We always wait the longest with children. It's not because they can handle the infection better. Quite the opposite. I remember how my baby girl Haley whined and cried that it hurt. Her mother and I wanted to help, but when that help is so permanent, who could do it? Jackie couldn't, and I didn't want our baby to die among strangers. In the end, I carried her to the railway, told her how much I loved her, and hugged her close to me as I stuck a railroad spike in her head. I can't wait forever. The sooner I can mask this, the more willing they'll be to acquiesce to my request. I'll report back when I can. Fourth hour after infection. Sensitivity to heat. I've since explained the situation to my group. They've tied my waist to a tree. and have people watching me from a distance while my hands are free to write. I can see in their eyes they're mourning, but unless we actively see each other getting snacked on, our grief has gone silent. We normally don't have enough water to waste it on tears. That's why we were near the damn waterfall in the first place. I'm so thankful for the shade. The heat makes me so angry, inexplicably angry. Despite the coverage, it's still too hot, even in the beginning of autumn. Declan, one of our little ones, had tripped over my foot, and I tried to lunge at him. As irritating as this rope feels on my skin, it's a mercy that it's able to hold me back. Declan, if you're one of the ones reading this, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I know you've lost as much as the rest of us. I know you didn't mean to trip over me. 5th hour after infection. Hunger. Mary just came by. She said I look paler than death. God, I'm so hungry. I feel like I haven't eaten anything in days. Even the sweat dripping down my face and into my mouth tastes like the nectar of the gods. The salt of the sweat makes my mouth salivate as I remember the taste of steak on my wedding night. Barbecued ribs on our daughter's birthday. When my wife had started to turn, I remember that hollow, desperate look in her eyes. Jackie begged and begged me to come closer. Her mouth wouldn't stop leaking drool, just like mine is now. My guess is my wife was put down at hour 5. She had hid it from us until that point. She didn't want to worry Haley or me. I vowed to love her in sickness and in health, for better and for worse. I repeated those vows when I put that bullet in her brain. We both agreed that our daughter wouldn't see her mother turn. 6 hour after infection. Itchiness everywhere. My throat itches every word I speak burns. So I've resorted to writing. I keep stopping to scratch my arms. It's just bone deep. Now when I scratch, I draw blood, not relief. I'd weep if it didn't come out in painful gurgling gasps. I'm starting to sound like a rotter. I'm starting to smell like one. Headache is worse. 7. Hurt. Focus. Hurt. Breathing rough. People scare. Want a hand. Numb. See bow and arm. Miss Haley. Want family back. Rotter. Hard. Don't want that. Help. On the 5th of October, 2026, at 7:30 p.m., our dear friend Joseph Murray had succumbed to the virus. Damien gave him the mercy of rest. My name is Mary Grinovich, and I will take over his duties as he wished. He was a former history professor at the University of Austin before everything collapsed. Joseph has gone to be with his wife Jacqueline, lovingly referred to as Jackie, and his daughter Haley. He has no surviving relatives, but many loved ones. He always hoped we'd have a future. His vision was that the past can help reshape the future. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hoped you liked that story. That was an original of mine. Thank you.